Hi, good evening again. TJ here, Imaginary Gallery, welcome. And this is my little boy Bandit. He hasn't appeared on here yet. He's a little baby miniature pincher who's 15 years old. He's sweet as can be, and darling and tiny. Look at him. But today's discussion is about, it's more of a continuation on the one I had done before about the secret madness of the hidden agenda of the narcissist, or otherwise cluster B personality disorder. And the focus this time is compartmentalization. Learning about this really helped me because I had the biggest, toughest time trying to relate to these types of people in a realistic way when clearly something was wrong, because the types of concepts I would try to share and get feedback on would just totally be blocked. But then I'd find out on another occasion outside my awareness that the very types of things I was talking about were going on, if not worse. Well, let's be a little more specific here. We want to put a little boy down. He's happy. He's a baby. He's daddy's boy. But anyway, this will make if you're dealing with such a person that you're puzzled with, if you were like me, here's what would happen. Let's say you're a gay male and you're attracted to tall, thin, muscular, lean dudes. So you might say, hey, look at that, isn't that hot? Well, this fictitious persona mask wearer, who is not being the real self, would basically act as if that's nothing I would look at. How could you look at that? You're here with me. You're still you. I don't look at that. Oh, come on. But anyway, that would be what would happen. So I would say, hey, let's go talk to that person. Let's go speak with him. It's cute. Don't you like that? That's horrible. That's awful, is what the other person would say. Come to find out that during this same time period behind my back, he actually was intimate with that same person while pretending to be me, with me and me only. So there's a red flag right there that the person isn't the perfect, faithful, honest person it claims to be. Plus, when you try to encourage your own interest with the other person's to try to share things rather than what they've done. And that's where we come to compartmentalization. These types of cluster B creature people believe that their life is in they keep their life contained in various compartments. So in your compartment, for example, like it was mine, you're the one and only boyfriend. You're the only one that he's with. You're the only one he looks at. You're the only one he hangs around. You're the only one he does anything with. Well, that's your role. So great. Well, that's wrapped up in a tightly knit box. However, on your day of working and he's off, guess what? There's another box. And that is target number 2. And that's some other person that he's found somewhere else, never mentions to you, and someone else he's chasing after, because these freaks have to have their narcissistic supply, as Sasha Sloan says. It gets them high. They're stoned on it. I think that was funny. But yes, they have to always keep a backup supply and a triple backup supply. So you'll never know this, though. They're not going to say to you, oh my goodness, you're only one piece of my supply. I've got 6 others. No, they're going to simply treat each one individually. So for each of the 6 boxes, let's say, each compartment, he's the only one that person's involved with, or that person in the box is the only one he's involved with. And of course, a logical mind, 1 + 1 = 2, would be saying, again, you can't be monogamous with all 6 of these people at the same time. It's just not logically possible. But again, they're in a fantasy world. So for them, yes. Plus, vegetarians can eat meat too in their world. But anyway, the point is, because I used to think, well, when I'd find out about the things that had happened that were hidden, I think, well, then you're on the same wavelength. Why are you acting like you're not? And instead of saying, oh dear, I guess I am, maybe we should talk about it, because they are power and control and winning hungry, They will be like, I only did that thing that time. Well, that was because of what you did. And I'm thinking, no, no. Clearly, you wanted to be with that person, and now when I'm with you with the person, you're acting like I'm some kind of creep for even suggesting we look at it. Wrong. So your brain goes into cognitive dissonance phase because you know what he did behind your back, but then when you were with him, he acted like it was the most repulsive thing ever. You would even look at some other person. And when you realize that the compartments are there and they're not supposed to interchange, when you understand this, it makes more sense because, again, they do box everything off. So they could have 4 or 5 or 6 different storylines, one where they're a saint, one where they don't have sex on a first date, one where they do have sex every day and night, and one that they're shy with. And it's like all these different stories all at the same time, like 5 or 6 movies playing at the same time with the same actor. And it's really crazy that this is the kinds of things these people spend the effort of each day doing, rather than like building themselves up as the person they are and just becoming a better person or developing a talent or some kind of constructive thing. They're out for supply and that's all they want. So they're not going to ever tell you this. And if you figure it out on your own and bring it up to them, they're going to tell you that you're crazy. So just look for these signs and look for inconsistencies that are never explained. Because again, a non abusive, non manipulative person would have a very clear understanding of exactly how you would see this inconsistency and would, if it was not something evil, would actually in this case, there's really no way to, that's the point. There's no way for them to make a rational explanation when whatever they've done clearly violates the fake boundaries they mirrored from you and broke. But anyway, that's just something to think about. And again, feel free to share your stories if you've encountered such wonderful people in your life. Have a great night.